What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Morning Rundown. Going to run through the Pirate system again, real quick. Obviously, again, the Pirates game went a little less than ideal. Mitch Keller, fresh off his first All Star berth, got beat up pretty hard, 4-0 into the game after just four batters. I think it was 5 runs he allowed in the first inning. Um, 8 runs overall. Pirates lost 10-1, something like that. Throughout the system, the AAA Indianapolis, they lost 7-3 as well. Ortiz started, didn't look too great. Only struck out one, walked a couple, and two plus innings. After that, it was a pretty solid night for the in the system. Altoona won 4-0. They had a little bit of a mass bullpen game going on. Braxton Ashcraft started. He only pitched an inning. Sean Sullivan came in after him, only pitched one inning. Justin Mice pitched a couple innings in relief. Mainly bullpen game. They only played one game over the weekend coming off the break, so I'm sure they wanted to get a bunch of guys included and back into the thick of things. So we'll start seeing guys with more traditional outings, I'm sure, the rest of the week here. Greensboro won 12-0. I'll have a little bit more on a specific player on that here coming up. And then Bradenton stays hot. They won 5-2 behind a really solid outing from Derek Diamond and some timely offense from a couple given guys. Again, I'll have more on that right here. So right now, I would say probably the most intriguing team in the system is Bradenton to watch right now. A lot of high upside hitters between Charlene Polanco, Tamar Johnson, last year's first round pick. Just a lot of guys that kind of feel like it's to keep an eye out. Maybe not as many guarantees yet, but someone if they take the next step, if once they hit Greensboro and Altoona, definitely someone worth throwing on the radar. Pitching wise, I think it's like that. Maybe less high upside guys there. They have a lot of college pitching, especially in the rotation, but still some guys that's intriguing to watch week in, week out. Derek Diamond was a guy that I was really intrigued in after the draft. I watched some of his high school video and just hearing about how he pitched up to his draft year, that if the Pirates can get him back to what he did in years prior, they might have at least something intriguing on their hands. And beginning of the year, he kind of had a little hop in his delivery right before he went to go throw, got rid of that, and it's kind of been a new pitcher since then. But talking about the hitters last night, Lonnie White, as everyone knows, I'm pretty hyped up about him. It was good to see him finally get into some games. He hit his first single A home run, which was pretty solidly hit. He hit that, I think it was right at 100 miles an hour exit velocity. Not only that, he walked 3 times. So kind of feeling that he's starting to get the feel for single A pitching, adjusting a little bit, which is a good sign that he was able to do that pretty quickly. Still looks a little bit unsure at times when it comes to like breaking pitches. Not necessarily swing and miss as much now as like there's been a couple that kind of just broke right onto on top of the plate. And he's just kind of seems unsure of how to approach that. That'll come with time. The swing and miss is noticeably still maybe a little bit there, but not as noticeable as it was whenever he over the weekend when I first saw him. So that's a good step. And then he walked 3 times. So that's really good. Yordany De Los Santos, he struck out a couple more times, which like obviously we kind of want to see the strikeouts start coming down at some point. But he did get his first extra base hit, a triple, the ending after Lonnie White hit his home run. So that's pretty exciting. A couple of the new young guys there kind of getting in the mix offensively. But the big power bat right now in the lineup, along with Tamar Johnson, Josiah Sightler, picked up another 2 hits, one of them a double. He's batting 500 on the season now with an OPS of 1.363. So incredible hitter, college senior. You probably, kind of expect this, but like at the same time, yes, you want a college senior to be hitting really well in single A, but this is one of the cases where, okay, the college senior is hitting really good in single, and not only is he hitting really good, he's hitting really, really good. Like he had three or four exit velocities of over 100 miles an hour last night, so he's demolishing the ball. I don't like to do the he needs to be promoted kind of thing, but I'm not sure what else there is for him to learn at the single A level right now, and I'm not too sure that Greensboro has anybody there that's really blocking him at this point. You could find a way to get him in the lineup somehow. Speaking of Greensboro, last night it was a really solid showing for Bubba Chandler. I think if there's a pitcher that you really, really wanted to see have a good outing coming out of the All-Star break, it was probably him. The stuff is undeniable. You can't watch Bubba Chandler pitch and say he isn't a talented pitcher. It's just a matter of putting it all together. Consistent command, throwing strikes, just all of that stuff. Not letting the big innings come. I had written something previously on P2 about how a lot of his damage that he's allowed this year has come in like a single inning blow up, and then he'll pitch good the rest of the game. So finding consistency, learning how to pitch, learning the mental battle on the mound, and I think once we see that coming with him, he's for a long time I said Jared Jones has probably the best raw stuff in the system. You watch him pitch and see what he's doing in AAA right now at 21 years old. Kind of hard to argue against that, but I would argue that if there's a pitcher close to Jared Jones when it comes to just raw stuff, just talking raw stuff that he has, not the total package. There's other players who have the total package that you would prefer right now because they're more of a complete pitcher. But when it comes to just raw stuff on the mound, Bubba Chandler is right up there in the system. Went 5 2/3 last night, only allowed 3 hits and 3 walks while striking out 8. 20 whiffs on the night, 61% strikes, 33% called strike plus whiff percentage. There's a tweet by Chris Clegg. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Talking about he was between 96 98. I don't know if that's what he's averaging on the season or if that's what he did last night. I do know at the beginning of the season he was a little bit down with his velocity as he was trying to ramp up and stuff like that. But there was a start a couple of weeks ago where he was hit 99 multiple times. So the 96 98 sounds about right where we had him last year while he was in Bradenton. And then the slider, 17 inches of sweep. And then I think the pitch that isn't talked about enough, I know I talk about it there, is the changeup. The changeup has looked really good, and I think the fastball obviously is the go-to pitch, is the pitch that everyone's going to talk about because of the upper 90s and the ability to get swing and miss, which is something that the system doesn't have a lot of right now. But the changeup, I think the changeup probably makes the fastball that much better too, because keeping hitters off balance. So big start for Chandler. If they keep their normal rotation, he'll get the start again on Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see how he does pitching twice in the same week. Knowing how the Pirates have been with some of their pitchers, he probably won't pitch that deep in the game. There'll probably be some sort of restricted pitch limit on him. But I mean, innings pitched and walks. Those are really the 2 things that I'm watching for him the rest of the season. The strikeouts are there. He leads Greensboro in strikeouts. He's up there towards the top of the system in strikeouts. Just need to get the walks under control and then just get an experience. You start thinking, I don't want to compare him to Paul Skeens, but the path that he's taking is a lot like Skeens in a sense that this was Skeens' junior year in college. This is the first year he focused only on pitching, and he catapulted himself into the first overall pick, obviously. Bubba Chandler, this would have been his sophomore year of college, the first year that he's focused only on pitching. And now, so I really think next year is the year that we're going to either want to see or that we're going to see that big step from him, because that would be his draft year. So that's probably when the young body's takes that next leap and stuff like that. So really good showing. The stream kind of cut off in a good bit of amount of it, so we missed most of it. We were able to see some of it. Fastball looked good. Had a hitter swinging real ugly on a breaking pitch, but we'll see how he does Sunday and the rest of the season, because he's probably one of the more intriguing prospects to watch in the system. And finally, speaking of pitchers, we got word last night. It looks like through Hunter Barco's dad, that he will be making his organizational debut on Thursday with the Florida Complex team. Of course, Barco was the second round pick for the Pirates last year out of Florida. Left-handed pitcher, had Tommy John. There was a lot of talk that he could have gone, first round if he hadn't got hurt. He was kind of heading that way. Fastball, slider, changeup guy. Mid 90s on the fastball, I believe it was. The changeup was the go-to pitch as far as I'm aware of. So it'll be good to see him get going. I wouldn't expect too much as far as workload the rest of the season. But it would be nice to see him get a couple starts in the complex league, then maybe go to Bradenton for a little bit. As far as going from there on out, I mean, who knows? I think with it being late July now, I'd be perfectly okay with just a couple 2 to 3 inning outings from here on out. Maybe once a week, maybe slide in the second time towards the end of the season. My expectations as far as that aren't very high. I'll just kind of take him being on the field and maybe get some video on him. That'd make me more than happy with it. But the Pirates really lack left-handed starting pitching options outside of Anthony Solomito, as in Anthony Solomito's the really only left-handed pitching prospect that they have in the system. So getting Barco on the mound, Michael Kennedy, who's off to a really great start as well. So Barco, Solomito, and Kennedy now kind of make up your left-handed pitching prospect pool. So it's nice to see all three of them are going to be on the field now. So that's going to do it for today's morning rundown. Go ahead and give a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think of Barco, what kind of expectations you have, if you're excited to see him pitch, and let me know what you think about Chandler and him going forward. Again, I know I've mentioned on the last couple ones, I have my own Substack now, Bucs On Deck. If you can subscribe to that as well, the link will be in the description of the video here. And today, Wednesday, I think just about every single team plays early today. So we'll have a lot of results flying here pretty soon. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day.